What's up there, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining me for another Road to Regionals, where I attempt to climb the online ladder and try to be a better commentator as I go. Anyway, we're going to be using the same team we have been using the past couple of days and on stream as well. This team PSL, I don't know what PSL means, it's supposed to be MSP for Mimikyu, Snorlax, and Persian. We have an okay record. I'm not going to really reflect on that. Still testing the team out, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, so I can switch it around. Still haven't made many changes to it from the last episode. But we're going to be facing a Japanese player who's going to have a Gigalith, which is a really hard counter to the Trick Room. Nihilego might also have the Trick Room and benefits from the special defense boost of the Sand. Kartana, Celesteela, Arcanine, and the Gastrodon. Well, so no Tapu. Interesting. So we have 3 Ultra Beasts, no Tapu, and a very slow Pokemon, devastating Pokemon under the Trick Room. So how do I deny him to get the Trick Room up? Because he could very well lead. He could very well lead the Nihilego and the Celesteela. They can get a Sludge Bomb and a Heavy Slam into my Mimikyu. I think Arcanine's pretty solid right here, because he can get Intimidate down on the Gigalith, the Celesteela, and his opposing Arcanine. I'm going to leave the Persian in front for Fake Out support. I really feel like I need to get the Trick Room up, so I don't necessarily like not bringing Tapu Fini, but he does have the Gastrodon. And he does have the Kartana as well. How's my Kartana look against this team? Got the Gastrodon, he's got the Nihilego. I have to bring the Arcanine though, so I think I'm just going to go with this. Basically this has to be a heavy setup team, a setup game for my Snorlax. Question is, how do I prevent him from countering my Trick Room? Once I get Trick Room up, I could very well taunt the not the Mimikyu. I'm sorry, I could taunt with my Mimikyu into his Nihilego. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I've never seen a team like this. I face teams without Tapus, but not with this many steel types. So Arcanine and the Nihilego are going to lead. I'm interested to see what the Nihilego goes for. I really would like to go for, because if this is a Trick Room set, I guess it would have Protect, like Protect, Trick Room, Sludge Bomb, and the Power Gem. He did get intimidated on my Mimikyu, which does matter. I keep thinking that I have my special set. I'm going to go for a Fake Out on the Nihilego. If I was in his position, I would go for the Protect into the Nihilego. But if he doesn't, he probably will go for a counter Trick Room, which is also wasting a turn for me. So, do I go for that? I think I need to go for that, yeah. And then I have to go for my own Trick Room. Yeah, that Parting Shot, bring in the Snorlax. So let's see how this goes. So he's not going to protect with his Nihilego, so it's good. I break a potential Focus Ash. It's gonna, so he didn't go for a Heat Wave. Huh. Mimikyu avoids, which is absolutely amazing. That's very weird. So the Nihilego was probably just going for an attack right there. The Heat Wave would have knocked out my Mimikyu. I don't understand what was going on right there. So since it's a special Arcanine, I'm not really threatened too much by it. So what I can do is I'm going to go for a Parting Shot into the Nihilego. I'm basically be able to take... Well, the Persian's not going to be able to get attacks off. So what should I do right here? Because the Persian's going to be the slowest thing on the field. I could very well go into my Arcanine right here. Wait, what did I just do? I wanted to back up 2 times, and then, so the Persian's probably going to be going down right here, so not paying attention to what Pokemon that I was switching into, because I wanted to switch in an Arcanine on my Persian slot, because the Persian's probably going to be going down right here, and then switch in the Snorlax onto, no, the Nihilego's going to come out, and I was going to switch in the Snorlax onto the Mimikyu slot, so the Gastrodon's going to come in. That's fine. I at least get an Intimidate down on the Arcanine, which really doesn't matter, because we've already seen that it's a special attacking set. It does a lot of damage to the Persian. Persian's going to get a Parting Shot into the Gastrodon. Gastrodon's not going to be doing too much to the Snorlax. Granted, it can get a burn. But I will be getting off a Belly Drum into it. Well, I'll be getting a Belly Drum off. It'll be slower than the Gastrodon. So he's definitely going to be doubling up into the Snorlax. He's going to have a 2 times chance to burn me, unfortunately, and Scold's almost has a 100% chance to burn. But my play right here, obviously, is to go for a a belly drum, and what do I do with my Arcanine? I feel like I could just conserve it because the not the Mimikyu, the Nihilego can come in here, and I really don't think he attacks the Arcanine slot. Granted, he can go for another Heat Wave. Please don't tell me that's Quick Claw. You've got to be kidding me. What the hell is this team? So let's see if he goes for the double up. He's probably just gonna go. No, he's gonna go for the Muddy Water. Okay. So the Persian, I should have just protected with the Arcanine right there. I just have no, like, and then he gets an accuracy drop. Yeah, so no wonder why this team has been winning. Probably just like sheer luck and people not knowing what to expect from it. He's probably just gonna go for a Heat Wave. I mean, those Heat Waves were doing like a large chunk to my Persian, and I actually have invested a lot of special bulk into it. Yeah, so this could very well be Specs Arcanine. And that does a lot of damage into my Snorlax, too. Alright, so how many turns of Trick Room are left? I think there's 2 more turns of Trick Room left. So I'm going to bring in my Mimikyu right here. Quick Claw, okay. So he's going for double. He's going for sped moves right here. Could have very well have brought my, my Tapu Fini right here. It'd be a good call. So I do have a safe play to go into the Gastrodon, but it could very well protect. And, how many turns of Trick Room are left right here? We have 2 turns of Trick Room left. I'm just going to go for the Shadow Claw into the Arcanine. Get some chip down onto that. Yeah, so the Gastrodon's going to be going down right here. Hopefully the Heat Wave misses again. Yeah, it's going to hit both of my Pokemon, okay. Hopefully it doesn't get a burn on the Snorlax. Mimikyu's Disguise is going to be broken. And he's not going for Protects or anything like that, so I mean, wow, that does a lot of damage. A critical hit, of course. I still do have my Z-move on my Mimikyu. Curious to see what he brings in right here, the Kartana. Which is an interesting call. He's probably going to Protect, because this is the last turn of Trick Room, yeah. I honestly think he Protects. I really, really think he Protects. If he doesn't Protect, this man's calling, like, every single shot in the world. Like, with his Kartana. Because it really makes no sense at all to not Protect with his Kartana. Actually, I mean, a safe play I have right here is to bring in my Arcanine, and then the following turn I could just go for a Flare Blitz into the Kartana. I'm recycling right now so that a Sacred Sword and a Heat Wave won't be able to knock out my my Snorlax. Because I'll get an Intimidate down on the Kartana, and the Heat Waves really aren't doing all too much to my Snorlax. Oh, he's going to Protect right here, so that was a good call. I have the Trick Room option in the back, but unfortunately I can't Protect with my Snorlax, so it's going to be forced to be taking hits. Could very well recycle the next turn, too, to take a double attack into the Snorlax and then go for a Flare Blitz into the Kartana. Could very well be Sashed, which would be kind of annoying. So the Sacred Sword is going to proc my Berry, and then he could pop in the Nihilego onto that slot, which would be fine because the Nihilego and Arcanine again really aren't doing all too much damage. So I'm gonna go for the Flare Blitz into the Kartana. I think he's gonna stay in, so he's gonna go for a Helping Hand. I still don't think Helping Hand Sacred. Oh wow, is this all out pummeling? No, Bloom Doom. This could very well, because this is Stab. He is at -1 right now, but it's Helping Hand it, so it's pretty much at neutral right now. I think I take this, and then I get all Recycle off, and I burn his Z-move. Let's see. I'm curious to see how much this does at -1 Bloom Doom. Most likely Jelly max attack. I don't live. That's a critical hit. I was going to say, I've lived that before. At neutral. Very unlucky right here. Of course, getting an accuracy drop, which didn't really mean anything. But I do pick up the KO into the Kartana. Now it is Nihilego in the back. But Nihilego against my Arcanine, it's not looking too good right here, because he could very well just go for the Sludge Bomb, Heat Wave into my Mimikyu. It doesn't let me get up Trick Room. Plus, I mean, the Arcanine really can't do much to the Nihilego right now anyway. So that critical hit definitely mattering right there, because my Snorlax would be able to get off a Recycle, and then I would still be on the field. fairly healthy, and the Kartana would have been removed, and I can go for honestly, a return into the Nihilego the following turn, and then gone for maybe like an extreme speed into the Arcanine. I think it's just a safe play to go for the Sludge Bomb and the Heat Wave into the Mimikyu. On the off chance that he doesn't do that and he goes for the Power Gem into the Arcanine, I'm going to go ahead and protect it away. Let's see what he does right here. But honestly, if I were in his position, I would just go for the Sludge Bomb Heat Wave, and that would be able to knock me out. Granted, Sludge Bomb might not be able to take me out, and then Heat Wave could miss. Sludge Wave. Okay, he goes into the Arcanine. Yeah, so that's not the target. Oh, okay. So it's a spread move. Okay. Heat Wave might not be able to take me out. He does damage to his own Arcanine. What move is that? Is that Burn Up? That definitely wasn't a Flare Blitz. Wow. Yeah, so I swear to God, I can't win against lower ladder teams. The team building for these teams literally makes 0 sense. It could very well be Choice Specs Nihilego. Let's see what happens right here. Helping Hand, so the Arcanine really isn't doing too much. See if he goes for a Sludge Wave. Yeah, he goes for a Sludge Wave, so he's going to knock out his own Arcanine. I don't think this will knock my Arcanine out. Okay, it does. It'll probably Choice Specs. Alright, well, I mean, good game to my opponent. Really odd sets. Played very odd. But you're going to lose those games. I would get very good information out of that if this would be a best of 3, and that's why I love best of 3 so much. I feel like I say that every single episode, but like you lose to so many silly things on Battle Spot, and it's really like it's out of your control. Of course, when I get crit, which is completely out of my control, because again, my Snorlax would still be on the field to be able to go for a high horsepower return into the Nihilego. I would have, what was on the field? My Arcanine on the field, so it would be going for, like, Sludge Waves into my Arcanine, then he goes for maybe a Burn Up into my Snorlax. My Snorlax would go down, but it would still give me the availability to go for, like, a Flare Blitz into the Nihilego, which would probably do a lot of damage, because Nihilego's pretty frail along the physical side. Losing my Persian early on really sucked, because I could still use the Quashes. Later in the game, which would allow me to outspeed the Nihilego, and then I could just get off a high horsepower into it. There's a fly in my room. It's really getting annoying. Of course, we have 1,400 players, so I can't wait to lose to this guy. So Brandon's going to have a pretty great team. I like his team. It's a standard team. His Melodic's actually rising in popularity. Probably Adrenaline Orm. I'm not going to... This is not the game that I'm going to be bringing my Arcanine, because he has a Melodic. He has his own Arcanine, but he can intimidate all my Arcanine. He's got a Garchomp, so not the game that I want to bring that. So he'll probably end up bringing the Garchomp and the Coco on the front, which will allow me to bring in my Persian and the Mimikyu. I can possibly get off a Fake Out Twinkle Tackle into the Coco, and then I bring the Snorlax in the back, obviously, for possible setup. I don't think I've never not brought Snorlax to every single one of these games. And what do I want to bring for the Nihilego? The Tapu Fini is looking really, really good right here, because I can get off. I hit like 4 out of 6 of his Pokemon for super effective damage with my Fini. I just got to watch out for the Coco and the Nihilego. I could take a Sludge Bomb from a... I know I could definitely take a Sludge Bomb from a non-Specs or Life Orb Nihilego, but I don't necessarily know whether or not I could take it from a Specs or Life Orb Nihilego, especially if it's modest. Alright, let's see who he leads right here. He's going to go with the good old Mimikyu and the Persian lead. He's going to go for Mandibuzz and Melodic. Not something I was anticipating whatsoever. I kind of feel like I want to get rid of this Mandibuzz right now, because it can get up a Tailwind. I'm adamant. So I really feel like I'm going to be able to knock the Mandibuzz out unless he switches in the Arcanine onto the Melodic slot, and I really don't think he'll do that. So I'm going to go for a Fake Out right there, and then I'm going to go for the Twinkle Tackle into the Mandibuzz. Well, let's see if he anticipates it, because when I played Mimikyu at Hartford Regionals, I was not anticipating Twinkle Tackle on the Mimikyus, because majority of them were running the Ghost DMZ with the Destiny Bond and Shadow Ball or Shadow Claw, and I played one of them in there, but I played 3 Twinkle Tackle Mimikyus, which was kind of annoying. Alright, so this should be able to take out the Mandibuzz, barring like 252 in defense and HP. Majority of them are special. Yep. So Mandibuzz is going to go down fairly quick. So Milak's going to flinch right here. It's not going to be able to do anything. It's not going to be able to take out my disguise. We're going to get rid of the Mandibuzz and basically clear speed control off of the side of his field. But I could have very easily went for a Trick Room. It's going to bring in the Arcanine. So he's not going to be able to take out my disguise. I can go for a parting shot, bring in my Snorlax, and then go for a Trick Room because the Arcanine's going to go before the Melodic. Take out my disguise, and the Melodic's definitely not going to be able to take out my Mimikyu unless he has like Hydro Pump. And I don't even think that would knock me out because usually the Melodics rely on the Intimidate boost. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a parting shot into the Melodic because honestly, I'm a little more concerned about the Arcanine right now because, again, Melodic, again, if I go for a parting shot into the Melodic, it'll be +1 special attack, so it doesn't really make any sense to do that. And then I'm just going to go for a Trick Room right here, and then I'll bring my Snorlax in on the Persian slot. Melodic's going to go for a Protect. I don't understand that Protect doesn't really make any sense. If anything, I could have very well gone for a parting shot into the Melodic and gave him a boost if I, misclicked or messed up right there. So we're going to be decreasing the amount of damage that the Arcanine wants to do right here. If this Arcanine is like Bandit close combat, at least it won't be knocking out my Snorlax, and then it'll reduce the defenses for the following turn. Goes for a Bulldoze. That is absolutely fine with me because he's going to reduce Mimikyu's speed. And that will actually allow me to possibly outspeed the Arcanine. We'll definitely be able to outspeed the Arcanine. And possibly be able to outspeed the Melodic under the Trick Room. So it's definitely not what he wanted to go with right there. So I could really easily go for a Belly Drum right here. There's really nothing preventing me from doing that. And what do I want to do with my Mimikyu right here? I'm just going to switch into my... Because he's going to double up into the Snorlax right now, which probably still won't be able to take me out. Get up a Belly Drum, and then I'm going to bring in my Persian on the Mimikyu slot, and then allow me to go for a Fake Out the following turn. Put a little pressure on. Alright, let's see what wants to go down right here. And then I have the Feeny in the back as well. I could have very well brought in the Feeny onto that slot and put some pressure on with the Muddy Waters, but... And I could have also gone for a Shadow Claw into the Melodic, but it's really not threatening me other than maybe like Scald Burns. Alright, let's see what wants to go down right here. So he's going to Scald into the Snorlax, no, into the Mimikyu. I was not anticipating that. That doesn't make any sense. And, okay, now it does make sense, because he's guaranteed to burn my Snorlax. Could have very well missed. But I'm still going to be able to knock out either of the Pokemon of my choosing. Because Stab Return into either one of these Pokemon, it's still going to be at +2. And Melodic usually doesn't have very good defenses. So, what do I do right here? I could very well Fake Out. The question is, who do I go into? If I had to choose, it'd probably be the Arcanine, but I feel like I want to get off the Melodic off the field because I do have the Feeny in the back, which really can't handle the Melodic all too well. So I'm going to go on the Arcanine. He could very well go for a Double Protect. I feel like, if anything, he's going to protect his Melodic. I'm not too threatened by it. But I still feel like I need to go for the Fake Out into it. No, I'm not going to play risky right now. I was going to say I can go for the Foul Play and the Return into the Arcanine, but he's probably just going to Double Protect. Yeah, so the Protect from Melodic was really obvious. That's why I went to go for the Foul Play and Return into the Arcanine slot. Nope, just going to go for the Double Protect. So I could have just switched out my Melodic, right? my Persian right there, just flaunting the... Double Protect. Now, what's good about this is that he can't Double Protect now, so he's probably going to end up Scalding into my Persian, which is absolutely fine. Because what I could do is I can go for the Return into the Melodic. Let's see who he has in the back. Does he have any Ghost types? No, he doesn't. And then I'm just going to go for the Parting Shot into the Arcanine, because the Arcanine, I think, has already been Parting Shotted once. Let's back up here for a second. Yeah, he's at -1, so I don't even think a Flare Blitz will be able to knock out my Persian. And he might be inclined to switch out his Arcanine so he can cycle the Intimidates and reduce the attack drop, but no, he doesn't, so this should be able to take out the Melodic. Yep, Melodic's pretty frail along defensive, physical defense. Going to go for the Flare Blitz. If anything, he should be going into the Snorlax right now. Again, that's not what that's not what he needed to do. Because, again, that wasn't going to take out my Persian due to the Fur Coat ability. Going to get a Parting Shot off and out. Now he can't switch out, and then damage output from the Arcanine is going to be negligible. Alright, so, I mean, I can freely switch into my Mimikyu because the following turn Trick Room will end, so we could very well go for a double Protect right here, or I could just switch into my Feeny because majority of his team was weak to Feeny, and then if he does bring in his Nihilego, I can go for a Muddy Water Scald. So let's go with that. Because my my Mimikyu will be able to pretty much outspeed anything on the other side of the field. I know it can definitely outspeed the Arcanine, and I don't think a Sludge Bomb's going to be able to take me out. See if he did bring the Nihilego. Yeah, he did. Okay, so I'm just going to go for a Scald and a Nihilego. It's probably just going to end up double protecting, but that's fine. I'd rather lock myself into the Scald. So I think he's just going to double protect right here. Arcanine has already shown protect. So actually, there's no reason to go for a Scald. Nihilego could very well be choice, so that's why I'm going for the... wow, okay, so he's playing ballsy right now. So I'm going to get a double Muddy Water off into his Pokemon. Arcanine's going to be slower. Okay, that's understandable. I do have quite a bit of investment. Let's see if he goes for the double up into the Snorlax as well, because the Muddy Water's not going to be able to take out the Nihilego. Does a lot of good damage, and wow, that does a lot of damage to Arcanine. Props to Berry. Specs Feeny, really, really powerful. Way more powerful than I give it credit for. Sludge Bomb, let's see if he goes into the Feeny. Okay, that's fine. Shouldn't be able to take me out. That's Specs. Definitely Specs. Like I said, I didn't know. I know for a fact that... I know for a fact... And that's weird. His Arcanine was faster than his Nihilego. Bring in the Persian right here. So that has to be Specs. We didn't see any Life Orb recoil on it. If it's not Specs, I'll be highly surprised because I specifically EV'd my Feeny to survive a non-Specs modest Sludge Bomb from a Nihilego. So Arcanine really isn't all too threatening. It's got a bunch of Intimidates down on it, so I'm just going to go for the double up into the Nihilego. He's probably going to protect. Yeah, he's not going to give him protect with his Arcanine, so this is most likely Specs Nihilego. And I'm going to go for the high horsepower because I didn't want to end up missing the high horsepower into the Nihilego, and should be well more in range for... It's going to knock out the Persian, it's fine. Should be definitely in range for a return at +2 right now, stab return. It's going to go off into the Nihilego, and it takes it out. Yep. Alright, there we go. And then I'm going to bring in my Mimikyu right here, and then I mean, I have a safe play of pretty much just Shadow Calling, going for a high horsepower into the Snorlax, and not the Snorlax, the Arcanine. There's really nothing you can do about it, because obviously the Flavorless is really... They're not doing too much to my Snorlax right now. Alright, and that looks like it's going to be a good game. So even burning the Snorlax didn't take the Snorlax out. Snorlax is so ridiculously powerful. I'm just going to go for the return. There's really no reason to go for the possible miss on the high horsepower. And then we're going to go for the Shadow Claw into the Arcanine. This Shadow Claw definitely isn't going to be able to take out the Arcanine, but the return follow-up definitely will. Match is forfeit. Okay, so first game was a little odd. So we split 1-1 in this game. And, I mean, granted, we did play 1,400 player the second game. It still was a win, a fairly comfortable win, barring the fact that our Snorlax got burnt, but it really didn't matter at the end. In the end, a very weird team in the beginning, didn't have any Tapus or anything like that. Had 3 UBs. Unfortunate crit on my Snorlax, but I definitely could have played that better and preserved my Persian. But any feedback is more than appreciated. And thank you for watching these videos. Anyway, I'm going to head out of here. I got to do a few things before I go to work tomorrow. Have a great night, and hope you're enjoying these episodes and this team. I really would like to improve this team. That's pretty much why I'm practicing with it on Road to Regionals. Anyway, have a great night, guys. Peace.